Hello everyone, it is December the 2nd. We have snow on the ground in Orangeville, Ontario, Canada. We've had it on the ground for a week or even maybe even longer. It's kind of, I feel, an early winter. But I just wanted to show you the growing area that I have. That's kind of an unheated growing area. So you can see where the deck is on top of the second story of the house. So what my husband does is he wraps the area in plastic, and we store all of our winter or all of our summer, furniture and things under there. But he's also built me this, I guess you'd call it more of a lean-to kind of greenhousey thing. It's just covered in plastic. It's just a very simple wooden structure. And it goes down the side of the house, not all the way. I think I might take it all the way next year. But this, for the last, I guess I've had this probably 12 years. It's still on its first layer of plastic. And I think I'm going to extend it next year. So if we go inside, it's a little bit dark right now because the snow is up here. And what happens is that snow melts off very quickly when it's a sunny day because it will warm up in this space quite significantly. Let me just close the door because I can feel a definite difference in temperature. So then you can see the under the deck area where we store things. And then here is the growing space that I use. For the last couple of years, I've been using this space for my later flowering chrysanthemums. Because if they're blooming in October and November, they might get damaged from some cold. They might, it's better if the blooms are not getting all the wet from the rain, so they're protected in here. So that's what I've been doing for a couple of years. I have grown dahlias in here and everything else, but I feel like the best investment for the space is to grow the late flowering mums. So I have all my soil, about half of my soil back there. I've got a bunch of other things. I'll keep my roses in here, although I have to watch. I might have to move them because I find it does get quite warm in here when the sun comes out. It can be minus 15 outside in February, but if it's a sunny day it could be plus 20 in here. So it's not good for the roses to come out of hibernation early or anything like that. So all the mums have been cut down. You can see the stems here remaining. So I'll be pulling them and I'll be potting them up. But some I'm going to be keeping in the ground just to see how hardy they are. And the ones that I've selected for this experiment are those which, when I dug them out, they had a lot of rhizomal growth. So those roots, those rhizomes that travel through the ground, if there's a lot of them on a plant, it tends to be a little more hardy because it has all that growth underground. There's more potential for it to actually survive over the winter. So that is what I'm going to be keeping in here just to monitor how it ends up doing. Several varieties, and I'll let everybody know. So it's not really like a completely outdoor space, mainly because it's obviously sheltered, but completely unheated, and I'm in zone 5B. So it gets down to, there'll be days where if it's cloudy outside and it's minus 20, it'll be close to minus 20 in here too. So it'll be a good test of some of them. I will be covering them a little bit. Last year I tried, I left Seaton's J'adore in the ground accidentally, and I had covered the bed with leaves because I didn't want to leave bare soil. So I'd cover the bed with leaves, and Seaton's J'adore came back. So I'm going to be covering the beds with leaves again, and we'll see what happens. This actually is an agapanthus. Should not be surviving, but it survived last winter. I mean, it was a very large clump when I put it in. It is now a very small clump, so obviously didn't really like it, but it did survive the winter. So I'll let you know how this little experiment goes, and I hope other people try to experiment with the cold hardiness of mums and share what they find. And I'd also encourage people to try and find, the opportunity to build a little growing space like this in order to be able to extend your seasons. It's just actually a real joy to come in here in February when it's freezing out and be able to sit in the sun and be nice and warm and be able to enjoy some outdoor time. Take care, everyone.